There we are.
Are
Right,
you?
happy and shy?
Yeah. Oh. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
You. Oh, so,
I thought I had started, but it
Well-
wasn't quite fast enough for you.
no, it's not
Let's
fast
talk
enough.
about being fast and
Yes.
speedy and making great decisions, shall we?
Yes, go on. I'm fast
Yeah.
and speedy and make great decisions.
And the horse you rode in on. So
Oh,
I was thinking about being
yes.
happy,
Yes.
which is very difficult for me.
Yeah. Go on.
So, because I think I am grumpy,
No.
I can only take so much conversation from people before I go stop talking, because what you're saying is irrelevant.
I don't think you're grumpy at all, Mr. G. I think it's just in your personality to be a little, what would you call it, cynical maybe? You
Very.
think you're a little better than everybody else
Oh, I know
around
I'm
you?
better than everybody else
You
around
think
me.
you do things a little better than
I know
everyone?
I do, yes.
You think you're above the average in the mental capacity?
Oh, for
Oh.
sure.
Organizational skills are so alert and
Yes,
100%.
yes.
And so basically everybody around you is
An idiot.
is an idiot,
Yes.
including me,
Oh, without doubt.
Professor G.
Yes.
Well, that's
Oh
a
my
tough
God.
one, Punky.
Yeah,
if
how
you
do you
go
get over that
around
one?
thinking that you're better than everyone else, what
Right.
the hell? What are you going to do about it?
Nothing. Just, no, it's just interesting to see myself and how it is a thing that when I'm, what is it? I'm like overly aware of
Hyper-
conversations and saying, you know, because for me, if I'm hearing a conversation that I already know, it's like, why are we doing this? To prove that you know something, so you keep talking about it, but we all know it anyway.
Well,
So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean,
Like,
yes.
It's like, why are we doing that?
right.
It's.
Well, we
I
all
have to leave the room.
we all like to think that we know things.
Which we all do. We all know lots of things. We're amazing.
We're human beings, so we're social. We create societies. And we want to... I mean, gossip is all about, letting people know what's going on. It's kind of letting everyone aware, so...
Everyone's aware.
I don't know what you do with that, though. Seriously, if you really think that you are better than everyone else...
I don't think that at all.
What do
Why
you think?
do you say?
Well-
Okay, right.
Well, like...
So I don't think I'm better than anyone else.
Okay.
Right? But I'm just listening to conversations about stuff and I'm thinking, this is so... It's just talking to talk. To hear your voice, I don't know.
Oh, maybe that is what it is. I mean, maybe we just like to talk to hear our voice and be heard. I mean, we all want to be heard, don't we? No, you don't.
No, you all want to be in a herd. That's the trouble.
Moo.
Just going along like the rest of the cows.
Bah. No, they don't have a herd of sheep.
Cows. Oh yeah, but not a flock.
A flock of sheep.
Huge flocks of sheep in
Yes.
Australia and New Zealand. Fucking millions of them in a flock.
Right. How
All
did that
flocking.
happen? So
What happened?
we sent
We
people.
brought them over from England in
And
the ships,
They loved it.
in the tall sailing ships, and bred them like we did with the rabbits, and then found, oh God, that was a bad move.
Too many rabbits.
Billions of rabbits in Australia and
And then they had to infect them with that horrendous
myxomatosis.
disease. Oh, God.
Myxomatosis.
Right, we're talking about being happy.
Right, I was.
Right.
You brought it into this.
I don't... You
You
said
bought
I
a
want to be
bubble.
in a herd and boo. Asshole, I'm married to an asshole. I'm the luckiest,
She's the luckiest.
woman in the world.
People who know assholes.
People married to assholes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing these meditations right now, which are wonderful. Why are you doing that? And get your hand off the table because you can hear it. Christ.
Because I want to see the results of all this meditation in your behaviour.
This is it.
Exactly.
I am absolutely
so obviously
amazing.
It doesn't work.
Wonderfully happy.
Meditation does not work.
It works for me, darling. What I love about this meditation is that it's a guided meditation.
Oh, what?
What an asshole married to an asshole. Yeah.
Everybody knows about meditation.
Well, this is a different one because it's a tapping thing. And you tap on the side of your hand and then the top of your head.
And then they take you over. And then two men in white coats go, walk this way, madam, you bloody lunatic. Tapping your arse and oh my God. Under your arms and oh.
Actually, I find tapping under the arm. I can do head, that, and
knees and bumps of daisy.
I can even do the collarbone. But tapping under the arm is just a tit. There's like a, not that my tit is under my arm, but you know, it's like...
Well, it has been known to wander.
Wandering tit to my... the fancy. No, so, but anyway, this guy, what I love is it's about connecting with the evolving brain circuit.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Enlightened, I can't even remember what it is. The enlightened brain circuit.
It's just a compliment.
Don't you like that?
Oh my God. Right, keep meditating. Jesus.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Well, that's what I do to be happy and to, you know, feel like... Because in this meditation that I did with him, it was, you know, blend your mind with all of these other meditating people throughout the planet and blend your mind with the positive energy, the field of energy in the planet. And I just felt so wonderful.
That's just sad.
What's
but never
sad?
Mind.
Go on, tell me what's sad about that. Well, I'm joking about
I can't remember anything that it is, but I could...
Enlightened brain
enlightened
circuit.
Brain
you
circuit.
don't even have a circuit.
Sometimes I don't think I have a brain. If I only had a brain. Yes. Well, I'm happy just like this is happy. This is making me happy because I'm laughing here.
Right.
I just like being... But I'm noticing more and more, though, this intolerance I have. I don't know how to get away from it. It's like listening to the same story 1,000 times and going, what? I never knew that. My God, how amazing. It's like, fuck off.
Well,
Jesus.
I think that is one of the downsides of growing up because we have seen it and done it, and especially you and I, you know. Do you remember when we did Faulty Service? We lived in this place called Lake Forest, which is on the north shore of
Terribly
Lake
nice.
Michigan. And very posh. Lovely.
25 years we were there.
Yeah.
My God.
And this friend of ours was having a dinner party for a friend of hers whose father was a general. And it was the general's birthday and she wanted to do something different. So she asked us, would you pretend to be the maid and the butler for the evening? And we, like fucking dicks, said, yes, we'll do that.
Sounds good.
And we roped another friend in who's a singer, and we went to the Goodwill store, and you got a big jacket, and I got a maid's outfit, and I had this big black curly hair and made up like a... And I was... I called myself Veronica, and this is how I was, and I was just wonderful being Veronica, and in my little maid's outfit. And you were Faulty Screw.
Faulty Screw the butler.
And we put warts, and I don't need to do that anymore because you got no.
Very funny.
We put warts on you, and
yes, because this was 40 years ago. But never mind.
Really,
no,
40?
No,
about 20 years.
30.
Ago. Yeah,
30 years ago.
Anyway, nobody cares.
Faulty Service through the north of Chicago. We went to all these amazing homes. I mean, I'm talking mansions with all these political people as well, and that. And we were just dressed, and I had white gloves and the whole butler's outfit. And I have a little magnifying glass that the jewelers use. So
a loop.
So I would take the hand of these people that were coming in, and then I would look at the ring and go, oh, zirconian, never mind, and take the coats and then throw them on the floor, and people loved it.
I know.
Isn't that the weird? They actually came up to me and said, can you come to my table and do something rude?
Do something rude.
Because they love being insulted.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I'm really good at that. I can insult.
Oh, you were
par
hilarious.
excellence.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you did it.
I mean, I got beaten up.
One morning, it was a Saturday morning, your father died and you still went on and did it. And
oh, you've got to.
Yeah.
You can't.
The show must go on, you
Absolutely.
know, even when your father dies.
Well, what would I do?
Well, yeah, you just...
Sit in a cupboard and cry.
Yeah.
Death is not that important. I mean...
But some awful things happened.
Oh.
Like...
Oh, let's... Why do you...
Well,
want
no,
to
it just
doing
says...
the
I'll just tell
awful
this
things?
one thing. Well, you put your thumb in somebody's soup and...
Well, that was a deliberate thing,
Right.
and they loved it.
Yes.
Then I would lick the thumb,
Oh,
and God,
God.
it was wonderful.
We did have a laugh, though. We used to make these songs up about the people.
Yeah,
and,
all the guests we had a song about, and they absolutely loved it.
And my friend and I, we would go to the grocery store and get some really nasty,
Dirty
rotting
old vegetables.
vegetables, and take that round as an hors d'oeuvre, and then
Yes.
have like a huge melon with a little toothpick in, as if that.
Oh, and bring out the canopies, and then we would bring out a can of peas.
Oh, that was really kind of
Just
pathetic, that one, wasn't
ridiculous.
it?
But it didn't matter. People go
Yeah.
along because it's just ludicrous and
Stupid.
funny and good God, and insult me now, and
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. Oh, and we had that guy. Jeff.
We don't need to say his whole name.
Oh yeah, right. I can't say his own name.
Jeff Binglebones.
He hired the train
Oh, yeah.
from Lake Forest into Chicago
Yes.
for his birthday. Well, actually, his wife did, but
Yeah.
and I think there was two cars. That we had two cars and the engine and pulling us into Chicago and back again, and we were
The show.
the show, dressed as the butler and the maid and that, and everybody sitting in this. I thought he was going to actually have a heart attack.
He was a big man,
He was
wasn't
a
he?
huge guy, and he started
Big
laughing, and I'm
billionaire.
thinking, oh Jesus!
I wish we
If
could
he
remember
dies,
I think you were just rude and insulting.
he
And-
loved it,
Yes.
and we just walk up and down the carriages,
Yeah.
handing out things and then taking them back again if we didn't. No, I'm sorry, you can't have it. And doing things. It was just
Because there was pizza, wasn't there, that came
yeah,
in?
yeah. Oh yeah, thank God there wasn't food. That would have gone everywhere.
And drink, there was drink. Yeah,
Oh
they had
well,
it all.
everybody was drunk. Oh.
There was a guy, I think he was the CEO of the Mercantile or something. One of the guys at one of the houses we went to, he did not like it. He arrived late and
Oh, he wasn't
he was
interested.
just snotty,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he's the only one that I remember that didn't get it. Just didn't get the whole concept.
Well, he knows numbers, but he's a moron.
Yeah.
So you just got to accept that. It's just the way it is.
No, I was thinking, because this one time they wanted us to actually wash up, and we weren't really supposed to do that, but we did it. And it was these gold knives and forks, and one of the forks started going down the disposal.
Yes, it did.
So the
It did
fork
actually
were like,
go. Yes.
oh my God! So we're having to straighten
Thank God
all
it's
out.
gold, because
Yes.
I could rebend it quite easily back into a fairly good imitation of a real fork.
Yes.
But the whole thing was like that when it came out. But gold is lovely and malleable.
Yeah.
Well, yes, with the hot water.
Then what about that kitchen that we went into? And those big
All right,
dogs
yes.
and
See, this
one
is
had
what I
pooped
didn't want to get into.
Well, it just is weird. So here we are, Lake Forest, these gorgeous big houses, and some people still live like...
They had no money. I think that was the problem.
Oh, right.
They're living in these huge homes and that, but they really couldn't
Some of them
afford to be
didn't.
there. But we had fun. We had fun and a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And singing songs about
Oh, my
people.
God,
and
it was
yes,
lovely.
tap dancing and just lovely.
Well,
I loved it.
my friend and I, we had a little off-spin of that where I would dress as the Queen and she would be Pamela, my lady in waiting.
Yes.
And we would sing. We went to the Chicago Museum or something. There was a big do there by
Wasn't
one of
it
the
the
banks.
library?
Something like that,
Chicago,
yeah.
like a
We were
huge
going-
thing, and you're in there with your
I'm
full
literally dressed in a
tiara.
ball gown, and I had a grey wig, and yes, a crown, and hello, how are you doing? Oh, it's so terribly nice to be here. And what is it that you do for a living, my dear? Oh, how awfully boring. Pamela, let's go to the next one.
Yes. Let's go and talk to interesting people.
Yes. Let's go away from it. Oh god! And then of course we did the stupid like canopy, happiness. You're wanting to.
Happiness?
How do you do that, Veronica? Oh, you're looking for happiness. You want a penis? Oh, darling, he wants a penis.
Yes, and I'm
Happiness.
saying, Veronica, for God's sake, get back in the kitchen. I'll be out there in 2 seconds. Put your clothes neatly folded next to mine. You know, things like that. And
Oh, Mr. Faltyscrew, don't say that thing to me. I'm just a little maid.
people loved it.
Yeah, they did. You God.
I mean, really important, but that's what got me. Senators and things just
Yes,
slapping their socks off.
that huge house in Kenilworth.
No, it was Wilmette.
Well, I was saying
Right,
Kenilworth. You didn't.
Oh,
have it.
because you see, I've
Well,
done it
yeah.
again. I've told everybody where everybody lives, you see. Yes.
Anyway, it was enormous house right
Oh,
on the
God.
lake, and they had
400
this
rooms of
bulldog, and it's now we've had bulldogs, and you have to clip their toenails, and this bulldog's toenails were bloody huge. I wanted to get.
She didn't want to
clipper.
hurt the dog.
Well, it's ridiculous. The thing was walking. So that's what I mean. You know, rich people, wealthy people are not always.
It doesn't matter. They've got money. That doesn't mean that they're, what do you call it, enlightened?
The enlightened brain
They
circuit.
probably had to do a lot of yoga and meditation. And look at them. It doesn't work. Never mind. But we had fun.
What about the time when you were at this agency and they sent you to the restaurant to be as a Scotsman?
God.
That was awful, wasn't it? In Chicago.
The
restaurant.
CEO was he wasn't a Scot, but you know.
And you were in your full
And I
mackerel tartan with your
My dress kilt.
sporran,
Right.
and you looked gorgeous with your white socks up to your knees. Did you wear underpants?
I did.
Have you
Because
ever
you never
worn
know.
your kilt without underpants?
Yeah. It's very drafty.
But
No, it's actually very warm. I mean, it's so thick, the material. Anyway, so this guy, and it was in this restaurant in Chicago, lovely, except it was in the restaurant. I thought it was a separate room, and it wasn't. So literally, I'm standing on this, with this long table full of X number of, so you have to get the hands in the right place here. So I'm going to, with all these people, with him sitting there where I'm standing, and the whole restaurant just stopped.
oh God.
And they're literally, everybody's turning around to
Oh God, to look at you.
look while I went through all this nonsense about him and what his staff had said about him.
Oh.
I mean, it was funny,
Yes.
but, you know, everybody, literally the whole restaurant went, oh,
Oh God.
and they're all looking at me. It was a little off-putting.
What about the time we were at the Hilton? Was it the Hilton or the Marriott downtown Chicago?
Hilton.
And it was this this company had hired us to be the comedians.
For this group of salespeople, which in fact turned out to be administrative people. So we're doing this whole gig about selling.
That we'd kind of done in a Shakespearean type
to
of
sell
thing.
or not to sell. There is the question.
Even now it doesn't
Whether it is
sound-
nobler to con. So we're doing that, and these people were just like, they had no idea what we were talking about, except there were two sales guys right at the back who were in hysterics, and they actually put their, what do you call them?
napkin.
The napkins over their head with the napkin there. And they're both just like that, shaking with laughter because they realised that we'd made a complete cock-up.
Oh God.
Well, somebody had. The woman
It's just wonderful though to die on stage like
and
that.
we had
I
to
mean,
follow them out to go downstairs and you could hear them going, what the hell was that? That was really bad. I don't understand why we had to sit and...
Oh God, yeah. There's been. Well, what about you in the at that pub? I was it called the Apple? My brother was over from the UK. He lives in Cambridge, and we were doing stand-up comedy. I think it was called the Funny Firm. Anyway, and you were doing it at a pub, but there was nobody in the pub. And do you remember
Two guys
that?
playing darts. A guy sat right in front of me, about 3 feet away, like that. And there's a woman over at the bar, and her brother and her at the other side of the bar, and that was it in the whole place. And I'm there with a mic. Oh my God! And these two dart guys
Nothing.
never batted an eyelid, just carried on playing darts. And this guy's like,
I'm just looking at you. Oh, no, just kind of like...
oh, I think he was gone, drunk.
Oh, God.
And he was just there, like, stupefied, watching me do jokes about
the
my
pub
teenage...
had obviously hired you or something, or... Yeah?
Yeah, they did. It was the Apple Pub on
my
Irving
God.
Park in Chicago.
It's probably not even there anymore.
And the poor guy was obviously, the owner was distressed because nobody turned up.
Right. Oh, it's the worst.
Except I think the woman did laugh.
Did she?
Yeah,
when you
she
put
laughed
your
at
hand up a skirt.
Yes, and pulled out 2 black hairs.
Oh.
Instead of a rabbit.
Hey. There was
That
an old
was-
lady from...
So, yeah, so she did laugh a bit. But the 2 dart guys, I think they were so embarrassed
Yeah.
that for me,
Yeah.
that they just didn't know what to do. So they
Right.
just carried on throwing the darts and picking them up. And
Well, what about me at the Funny Firm when... Because we were doing this... It was a class where every week. And then at the end, there were 300 people, I think, in this comedy club. And
it
we...
was 6 minutes of joke. You had to do 6 minutes.
Right, which we'd all learned, and we were ready. And
All different, of course, yes. And it was,
I don't... Did you go on before me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you went on, and then it was me. And this has never happened to me before or since. Obviously, the enlightened brain circuit wasn't even in it. It was blank. It was like I was in a dark room. There was like nothing. I couldn't even remember the first word of my set. It was the most horrific experience.
And the owner is at the back of the club, and he said, "You're not getting off the stage, so you'd better start doing something."
Oh.
And the whole audience is like...
What do you mean?
Well, everybody took a
just-
breath in of like,
Right. What's she going to
Jesus,
do?
what's going
Fuck. And I think...
And you stumble. And I'm trying to get to the front to mime your lines.
God.
But you did get through it eventually.
Yeah, it was like
sparked off.
bit by bit. I'd remember this and then I'd go blank and he'd be like, come on, what's it, Oh
Dear
my
God.
God. It was
We've done some right
horrific.
daft stuff, haven't we?
But everybody was like, well, what about the time we were the King and Queen at the, where
The
was
Queen
that?
and Prince
Wilmette.
Philip.
Was it the Wilmette
Follies.
Follies?
Yeah.
And we were part of it. And there was a whole group of people singing, dancing thing. And we had this little bit ourselves where you were Prince
You
Charles.
had this throne. No, darling. You don't even...
Oh, right. You were king.
You're so enlightened. Stop it.
Fuck off.
You were the Queen and I was Prince Philip.
Right, I was going to say.
Your husband.
Prince.
And we were talking about
Just
the
a
4
minute.
kids.
Hey, Grumpy. Just calm it. Cool your heels.
I think when you meditate, your brain just...
Well, I think at
Something
least
happens.
I'm happy and not nasty to you. Come on.
Hey, not nasty to me. So, shall I tell the story?
Fuck yes.
So you're... So
I'm
she's sitting
sulking.
on the
Go on.
throne, all done up, looking great. I'm in this really nice... Actually, I wanted to take it home. Lovely military uniform with the hat and all the gold braid and the sword. And the comedy thing was about our children. So in England, of course, when you're terribly well-spoken, one doesn't say
You or me.
you
it's
or me,
one.
it's one.
One.
So the Queen starts off with, what's happening with one's one? which is Charles.
Right.
So I start in with my spiel about Charles, and I mean, it's a little difficult. And then she went straight to the end of the comedy routine. Literally went from the opening 1 minute to the end of the 10 minutes that we'd done. And I'm standing there going, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. So I'm now banging against the side of her throne to say, well, didn't we talk about ones too? And the audience really, thank God, picked up on this, and they were in hysterics.
Oh, God.
Because Val was getting every line, and I'm trying to bring it back to the way it was. It was the funny people. The rest of the cast said that was just amazing.
It was hilarious.
And I said, God, and if we'd only planned it, it probably wouldn't have been funny.
Right.
But it was a total cock-up.
Well, that was you just, bringing the funny out of the situation. Because again, my mind, I told a lie when that was the first and only time in the funny.
Thank God. Right. 54 years of this.
Oh my God. How funny though. I mean, we've had some funny riotous times. And
with everybody.
Yeah.
And around the world doing it as well, having a good time with different people from different countries. And
yeah.
It's just, I just love that whole life. I do miss it. It is boring.
Yeah.
Being semi-retired. I've done 2 gigs this year.
Yeah.
It's now August.
Well, I think volunteering at this Home Forward or whatever it's called, we live in a place in Oak Park where
homelessness is becoming a real.
On my walk this morning, I went through Austin Gardens and there was this lady. I've seen her there before. She might even sleep there on the bench.
Oh, that's...
And it's like a walking sleeping bag. I mean, she's just got this sleeping bag and just shuffling very, very slowly, and the smell and everything. It's just awful. I feel so sad that we're not caring for people.
Richest country in the world.
Yeah.
And we do nothing for people.
So
with anything to do with healthcare and mental health. I don't know what it is that we just don't seem interested enough.
Well, I think it's back to America is a very young country, and it's been founded on, do it yourself, pull your bootstraps up, go into the Wild West, kill a buffalo. It's all like self-sufficiency,
yes.
which for us was great because we're
That's
entrepreneurs and we founded
but
our
other
own.
people aren't, and they can't help themselves.
Right.
And they come back from the war with PSTD and all that.
There's
and
no D on it anymore.
There's no D on it anymore. There's
BTS.
no D on the end.
Yeah, what do we do?
Right. I keep smelling food.
Oh.
Is this a sign that I'm very hungry?
Probably, yes.
Somebody's
doing something somewhere.
Oh.
Cooking an egg, cooking a bacon.
No, it's got that smell of baking and savoury.
Salt and pepper.
I think it's time to say good night.
Okay, well, that was fun. And before we go, so what is it that you're doing to be happy?
I wish somebody would talk to us and tell us what's going on. So please respond. We don't mind.
No, I'm asking you what you're doing to be happy.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to the audience that we haven't got.
No, the audience is all happy.
The 2 guys that are in the wheelchairs with the hearing aids. What do I do? I just think happy thoughts all the time.
All right, give me one
now
before we go.
But you don't like it. You think it's sarcastic and horrible.
No, tell me a happy thought now.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Happy.
Happy who?
See, that's your problem. Right, and was that funny?
No.
What was that? I can't actually think of a funny... I'm not really good at jokes. You think of a funny.
Jesus, you sit there. There was an old lady from Hull who wanted to go out and pull an old man from St. Ives, but he had hives. So she said, fuck off, and had a bath.
Very funny. Get me out now.
Love you all. Goodbye.
Goodbye.